Hi everyone, so this is a video that should have reached you if you are a parent or guardian of a child that is attending the Kingswood residential with us from the 3rd till the 7th of October. We've decided to do a video because of convenience. For a lot of people, meetings after school are not easy for childcare reasons or work reasons, and I think if I've learned anything over the past 2-3 years, technology is our friend in times like this. So we've recorded this video so hopefully everybody gets the same message and it's a consistent message, and we didn't want people to have to worry about getting somewhere for a certain time and taking time off work or having to arrange childcare. If after this video you've got any questions, my email address is on my class page 2E, or speak to any class teacher because they have the information as well. If you'd like a sit down with me afterwards, after this video, for a quick chat as well, that's absolutely fine. So the information, so attached to this video or the notification of this video, there will be a kit list. So that kit list is for a 3-day residential. So you just need more of what it says on there. Now, when you're packing, if you could please make sure your children know exactly what's in their case. I'm not very good at packing because it was never an expectation in my house as a child that I would pack my bag. So I used to get to places and was not really sure what was there. So if you could either have your child assist you in packing, I'm not saying let them pack because I do want to make sure that the bag has what it needs, but if you could have your child assist you or go through their bag and say, this is for this is for this activity. Please make sure you've got clothing suitable for all weathers, because as we've seen this week, we've had nice weather, we've had cold weather, we've had rain. We could have any weather in October, let's face it. We were really lucky last year and we're fingers crossed for this year as well. But raincoats, sun hats, just in case. And then clothing wise, long trousers and long tops are better, because quite a few of the activities, particularly the climbing activities, require to have something covering your arms and your legs, and closed toe shoes, so trainers, are much better than anything else, please, because they won't let people climb if they haven't got suitable footwear that's tight and completely protects the foot. We have got water activities this year, definitely. For those of you that heard about last year, we thought we had water activities, but then they couldn't do them. So this year we've definitely got water activities. We've got 2 different water activities. So if you could send 2 separate sets of clothing for them to go in the water in that will get wet and they won't wear for the rest of the week. If you put those in carrier bags and let the children know, these are your wet clothes, please only wear them for the water activities. When it comes to those days when the children are doing the water activities, we will say, go and get your bag of wet clothes. They will come out with a carrier bag, or they'll come out wearing them with other clothes, and then we'll put them back in, we'll get them as dry as we can before we put them back in their bags. One top tip that I've got from residentials before, not from my own experience, but from the experience of a child in my group, sometimes shoes come off in the water, and the bottom of the lake is not particularly nice, and I don't really want to go swimming for shoes. So if you could send an old pair of trainers or an old pair of shoes that you do not mind if one of them went missing, that would be really great. If you can't do that, if you haven't got any, don't worry. We will just make sure the best that we can that everyone's shoes are tight. It was one child out of about 150 that I've taken on these residentials. But if you could send old trainers that you don't mind getting wet, so then they can wear dry trainers for the rest of the week, that would be really helpful. So if you could send at least 2 pairs of trainers, one that are going to get wet and then one that would stay dry for the rest of the week so they can join in the other activities, because we haven't got any drying facilities. So we're going to have to rely on the English weather to dry anything. Spending money. So there is a shop. It's got all the lovely sort of souvenirs and things, teddies, rubbers, pencils, little gadgets. £10 is sufficient. We will only have one trip to the shop. during the week, and we don't really want them buying sweets and fizzy drinks and things to keep them awake at night. So if you could just send them with the £10, that is plenty enough. Otherwise, when they come home, they will have lots of rubbers or lots of things that you will then have to find a home for. So £10 is more than sufficient for spending in the shop at Kingswood, and obviously all meals are provided. We know about the dietary requirements, so everybody will be catered for, and we have had it in the past where if children are very picky eaters or if they have a very limited diet through choice, they do try their hardest to make sure that there is something they can eat, and they do cater for all. So, and it's good food as well. We know that from experience, so it's good stuff. And it must be good because staff are going again from last year, so that means that they must have enjoyed the food as well. On staffing, so we will always have 7 members of staff there. So we'll have myself as group leader. You've got Mrs. Greentree, Mrs. Bullen, Mr. Knight, Mrs. Stones. And then we've got Mr. Hewlett is coming on the Wednesday, Thursday and Friday. And then the other half of the week, we've got Mrs. Oldfield. So we've got all those members of staff with us, and we will be split into groups during the day. So in an evening, they're in pods of 8, sleeping 8 children, which the children will have chosen. So they will get to choose who they are in a bedroom with. And then during the day, we'll be in groups with members of the Arnold Mill staff accompanying those groups, and the activities are led by a Kingswood trained professional. Within the groups during the day, we try and mix the children up a little bit to build new relationships, to build teamwork, and we try and make it so that children are mixed with children from other bedrooms. One thing that helps is that if a child, they do activities at different times. So if a child is a little bit worried about an activity, so for example, high ropes, a child might be sat there in an evening saying, I'm not sure about high ropes tomorrow. We're doing high ropes tomorrow. I'm really scared of it. I don't like this. I don't like that. I don't like the other. The likelihood is there will be somebody who has done that activity before in their bedroom that they can then talk to them about it, and they can reassure them, and they can tell them exactly what happened, how it was. And it's not just an adult telling them they'll be okay. It's one of their peers. And that works really well. So that's something that we do as well. The timetable for the day, so that you will come to school normal time. If you could put your bags outside reception. If it's raining, we'll move them inside the little reception area. In that bag, could we please have anything that needs to be at Kingswood with them? On the day, they will need a packed lunch. That packed lunch needs to be in a separate rucksack, because they will take that onto the bus with them, because we will be stopping on the way to Kingswood at Rother Valley. If their lunch is in the bag in the bottom of the bus, that's not going to be the most helpful. So if you could make sure their lunch is not in their packed bag, it's in a separate rucksack or a carrier bag, so they can take that onto the bus with them. You will also need to make sure that any medicines that your child requires are signed in using the medical form and are handed to Mrs. Stones on the morning. Please do not leave them in their packed bags. The adults need to have control of that medication to make sure they get it on time, the right dosage, and all of those things. Even if it's an inhaler, and I know that Year 6s look after their own inhalers now at school, please give those to Mrs. Stones on the morning in a named, it could be in a bag. We can stick a label on it with the form, or if you've already filled in the form, we'll have the form and know we're expecting it. And then whichever group that child is with, their inhaler or any medicines that are needed during the day will be given to their group leader, who will be a member of the Arnold Mill staff. If it is medication that is required in the morning or in the evening, we're all together, and Mrs. Stones will be in control of those, and they will be locked away and safe during the day. So medicines and packed lunch, do not pack in the bags, please. Make sure they're separate. Medicines handed into Mrs. Stones, and packed lunches for that first day with the child ready to climb on board the bus. So the bus will be getting here between 9 and past. We'll be setting off as close to 9:30 as we can. We'll then drive to Rother Valley, where we'll stretch our legs. There's a bit of a park, go and have a look at the lake. Last year we got chased by ducks, which was fun. maybe they'll be there again. Who knows? Then we'll go on to, so we'll have our lunch and then we drive on to Kingswood. The first thing that will happen at Kingswood is we'll have a tour of the site. Children will be shown where toilets are, where their bedrooms are, and other areas that they need to know. They will also be shown any areas they're not allowed, and safety and rules will be explained. When we get there as well, the beds will not be made. That was one thing that shocked the children last year. They had to make the beds. That was an experience for me because I've never had 45 children trying to make beds before, and it was, I won't say stressful, I'll just say it was interesting. So if you could just pre-warn the children they will have to make their beds. If you want to show them exactly how it's done if they don't know, that's great. If not, other children in the pod, I'm sure, will help your child when we get there. We'll then go off to an activity in the afternoon and then come together for tea or dinner, depending on what you call it. Then after that, we'll do an evening activity. Now, the evening activities are all together. All of the Arnold Mill groups will be together, and we only do activities with our school. So we don't mix with any other children from other schools. We might be on a climbing wall next to another school doing abseiling from that wall, but we don't do the activity with them. We're always on our own, and the evening activities are just our school. We'll then go to bed. The activities finish about 9 o'clock. We'll then have some downtime, and then we will sleep. We will go to sleep, lights out, sometime after 9, probably between 9:30 and 10 once we've brushed our teeth and got our pajamas on. We then wake up, breakfast, it's cooked breakfast and continental breakfast is available. We then have an activity, break, activity, lunch, activity, break, activity, dinner, evening activity again, go to sleep, wake up, and it's the same pattern every day until the Friday. On the Friday, we'll wake up, we'll pack our bags away, we'll put our bags in a safe place so they can start to clean the rooms. We'll go off to an activity, we will have a lunch provided by the Kingswood staff, and then we will vacate the premises by bus and be arriving back at Arnold Mill as close to 3 as possible. If you could please make sure that somebody is available to collect your child on the Friday, please. They will have bags. They will be tired because they will have slept, but it's in high intense residential. We've got things going on all the time. It is draining, and then you will go off, enjoy your weekend, and be back at school on the Monday. Contact details wise, during the school day, the school office is open. All Arnold Mill staff will have mobile phones on them, so they are reachable by school staff. If you desperately want to contact a member of the team at Kingswood, I have my emails on my phone. So if you desperately want to email and ask a question or let us know something, then feel free to email. However, we don't really want lots of correspondence between home and school on are they okay. If there is a problem of any description, we will contact you. So if you don't hear anything, please rest assured that they are safe and well and enjoying themselves. Last year we had maybe 4, 5 children that missed home on the first night, but by the second night that had reduced to 1, and by the Wednesday night everybody thought they lived there forever and didn't miss anybody at home at all. So it does get better as the week goes on, and actually not having contact with home helped those children last year, and I'm sure it will help them this year. If you have any other problems during the evening and you don't want to email, then it will be a case of ringing the Kingswood site. But again, please only use that in extreme emergencies, because they have other things that they need to be doing rather than just checking if your child's having a nice time. Please only use it in emergencies, and that those details are attached to the form with the kit list. The only other thing to say is thank you for allowing your child to join us on this trip. They are valuable experiences, and I'm sure the children will absolutely love it. The staff enjoy it, and the staff came into teaching to give children experiences and to make sure that they have fun and enjoy themselves. And we can guarantee that will happen on this week's residential. Like I said at the beginning of the video, if there are any questions or if you've got anything you want to know, please speak to myself or Mr. Hewlett. Mr. Hewlett came with us last year, so he knows exactly how the timetable and everything works. He's got just as much experience as me going to Kingswood, and he knows what's going off as well. So enjoy packing. Please remember to pack those wet clothes so we don't run out of clothes during the week. And we will see you on the 3rd of October, bright and early, ready to send your child off for a week if we don't see you before. Take care. Bye.